Hey, greetings out there, everyone. This is Lawrence Terry, and today I'm going to speak briefly about one of the most influential and prolific composers in music history, Richard Wagner. German public records give Richard Wagner's dates as being from 1813 to 1883, and during this time he composed some 113 original and distinct works. All this has been compiled and cataloged by esteemed music scholars Dethridge, Geck, and Voss. Now, this might seem relatively impressive enough, but the true testament to Wagner's undying, limitless contribution to music as we know it today are his masterpiece operas. Now, these operas, along with much of other Wagner's works, can be easily categorized into three distinct areas, each corresponding to the different areas and stages in Wagner's life. Now, taking a look at the early years, you can clearly see the early influences and the formative lessons learned that enabled Wagner to begin writing and complete his first works. His first opera was completed by the age of 20, but this was not officially performed until about 50 years later. By this time, the composer had already been dead for several months. The first opera that was actually performed and staged, that was Wagner's, was about 10 years later by the title of Rienzi. This was met with an overall feeling and consensus of success and high acclaim. Though the composer, he knew deep inside that he wanted to push the envelope a little bit more and take things up to another level. So moving from these immature pieces, you see a more developed and brooding, deeper musician begin to emerge. And definitely more significant work began to pop up. Such great operas such as Tannhauser, The Flying Dutchman, and Lohengrin began to emerge. These works are considered by many some of the greatest operas written to this point. Uh, with this feeling of overall acceptance, Wagner almost felt like he had arrived, but still he decided to branch out in new areas such as philosophy, religion, and politics, and of course the overall search for the perfect music art form. And this culminated in the idea of what is now known as Gestemannsdicht, German philosophy of the combination of all art forms such as art, music, philosophy, poetry, drama, and even dance. This began a 26-year voyage into the work of what is now known as Wagner's most dedicated and intense undertaking. This is called the Ring Cycle, which is a 15-hour performance, and four operas actually merged into one. So this is usually performed once a year over in Germany at Bayreuth at the personal festival house that was built or constructed specifically by King Ludwig II for Wagner to perform all his new and great operas in. Tickets for this are extremely hard to come by, and the waiting list right now is about 10 years, so good luck waiting in line for that. Along the 26-year ride that it took to complete the Ring Cycle, a couple other extremely significant pieces were composed. The operas Tristan and Isolde and the Meistersingers of Nuremberg. These pieces illustrate a clear transition from 1800s/19th century romantic music into the 1900s, which we now know as modern classical music. From this, I mean, it's impossible to misconstrue any sort of connections that Wagner had to many of his contemporaries and future influences, such as Schoenberg, Webern, Weber, and even artists today who practice the art of classical music and the 20th century art form. So, to conclude all this, Wagner's works are undoubtedly some of the greatest works ever composed, and his operas have stood the test of time and will continue standing test and influencing many musicians such as myself for years to come. Thank you.